Hi there, Carrie here. Today we're going through 12 basic exercises that anyone can do from the very beginning, the beginner's workout, that you can gradually increase repetitions or add weights to continue to increase your strength. Because when you're just starting to work out, let's be honest, the most important thing to get is your strength back. So that's where we're starting. If you are injured or in bed or in a chair, then you're going to modify these workouts and exercises to whatever you are in. And if you have a debilitated body part or a part that is in a boot, a sleeve, or a compression garment, then you're going to need to modify when we get there as well. I have additional exercise modification videos on my YouTube account, username CarrieFit, and there are several different variations on several different exercises that you can work through depending on your specific modification needs. Also, you can always send me an email. I'm Carrie at carriefit.com, and I spell my name the old way, C-A-R-R-I-E. You can always email me and say, hey, I have this specific injury. What can I do to help modify your exercises? And that's what I'm here for, and that's what I love to do. So I've selected these 12 exercises that are full body, that get everything worked out in a short amount of time that you can get started in today and start increasing your strength. As soon as you do that, you'll notice that you can start doing other forms of fitness as well. And hopefully I'll see you in class, or I can work with you online in a fitness challenge. So from wherever you're sitting and however you're sitting, the most important parts of your fitness regimen are how you breathe and how you align yourself. So I always take a cue from my Pilates training, and that is really the best way to breathe in fitness and for life, to make yourself stronger, faster, and your alignment and posture are extremely important. So the top of your head, over your shoulder, and over your hips. Make sure that you check yourself out and that you're pushing up through the top of your head, down through the bottom of your spine, that your shoulders are down, back, and behind you, and that your ribs line up with the rest of you. So find all of that, get all of that lined up, and when you breathe, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and it's actually into your lungs, under your ribs, not into your belly. So breathe up and under the ribs, exhale to flatten strong. That will make your lungs stronger, your heart stronger, your core stronger, all at the same time. We're doing lots of work here. Okay, so let's get started in some basic exercises from lying on your back, starting out with your legs. To get onto your back, roll onto your side first and then roll over. Place your feet flat and with a little bit of space in between. This is just my fist distance in between my legs. Connect my shoulders behind me. Tuck the tailbone underneath me and make my tummy nice and strong and pulled in. That doesn't mean that you're going to round your spine into the mat. It just means that everything stays strong. Okay, so the hip bridge is going to work the back of the leg and also keep your tummy nice and flat. Breathe in. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, continue lifting, and lift one vertebra at a time off of the mat, including that little spot that doesn't want to go one at a time. Push to the top and get nice and straight from your shoulders to your knees. Then take a breath and come on back down, starting from the top and putting each vertebra back down. Then again, we have that sticky spot in the spine. That's not going to want to go one at a time. So be extra careful in that place and notice that the shoulders need to stay down and back. At a certain point, they're going to want to pop up. Let's do it again. Breathe. Exhale and tuck under. Now, if you have an injury in a leg, then you're going to find that you're going to be doing this with just one leg or just the weight on one leg. And that will really help that healthy leg while you're working your core and getting everything nice and strong again. So you might have one leg laying out flat that is not able to do this exercise, okay? And so then what you're going to do is you're just going to lift with just one leg, and it's not going to go all the way up to a bridge. It's just going to lift a little bit. Just depends on the injury and how you need to modify that. Let's do one more with both feet, and this time lift the toes. Exhale, tuck under. Now you'll notice when you lift the toes, it's just going to be a little extra squeeze for the glutes and the hamstring at the top. Breathe. Exhale and start from the top and tuck back down, coming down one vertebra at a time. Work yourself up to doing several repetitions of that. That was just 4. Go up to 6, and then 8, and then 10, and then 12. Okay, now putting your feet up over your hips, connect your legs, connect your knees, squeeze your inner thighs in, pull the tummy muscles in and away from your clothes. At this point, it might want to push outward. So then we're going to take it in a little farther to make sure that we're protecting the core. Open the knees, but keep the feet together. Knees are going to come down towards the shoulders, and then exhale and press with a flat foot and knees together at the top. Breathe in and come down. Exhale, push up. Breathe in, come down. Exhale, push up. So we're aiming for a straight leg right up over the body. That might not be possible yet. You might not be able to straighten your legs yet. It is a work in progress. So keep progressing and keep pressing forward. But use your leg strength. Press up. Breathe. Press up. Keep all of this in. Put a hand here if you need to. Because if your tummy muscles are pushing out, that's the way that they're going to grow. So you might find that you need to stop at halfway because your tummy can't handle the pressure of the straight legs yet, and that's okay. Now, as you get stronger, you can wrap a resistance band around your feet and push against the resistance to make your legs even stronger. Give me 3 more for 3. Press, 2, press, and 1. Press, and then bring the knees into the chest and set the feet down for a minute. Turn back over onto your side, and then we're going to do a bit of a leg extension. Okay, from this position, we're going to be doing a bit of a leg extension. So bring the knees back up over the hip bones again and cross one ankle over the other. Bring it in far enough to where your tummy stays in control and down and your shoulders are in control and down. And this is going to work a little extra on the quadricep. So the leg that's laying over, crossed over, is a dead weight. Just lay into that leg and keep it just pushing down. And the more it pushes down into the other leg, the stronger the other leg is going to get. From here, we're just going to straighten and down. And you might not be straightening all the way today. You might be going just a few inches, and that's okay. The more you push the top leg into the bottom leg, the stronger this quadricep is going to get. But if you have trouble with your knees, then you're not going to push down. You're just going to lightly go and lightly extend the knee to strengthen the muscles around the knee. For 3, 2, and 1. And then you're going to switch legs. Let the other leg lay down and press down into this leg. One leg may be different from the other, so you have to adjust accordingly. Know your own body. Do not hurt your knee. So if you're not extending all the way, that's okay. If you're only right here today, that's okay. Just feel this muscle. It's getting stronger, right? That's what we want. Get stronger and push into a stronger quadricep. Give me 3 more for 3, 2, and 1. And then in and then down, nice and easy. Good. Push onto your side and come on up. We're going to go onto our hands and knees here. Now, I want to have a little talk about wrist flexibility, right? Because this is hard for some people depending on how flexible their wrists are and how they feel about their forearms. Usually, if you can't put weight on your hands at this point, it's a flexibility issue. Or, if you have rheumatoid arthritis, then this can be very difficult. If that's the case for you, you have a couple of choices. Here's your first choice, and that would be that I'm just using a set of hand weights as a handle. So I want to line my arm up so that my wrist and my hand are all in line, and I'm just using these weights as my handle. So that can help you some with that alignment and flexibility issue so that you can be on your hands. When we come back to plank, you can use those as well. Of course, the other thing that you can do is just come down to the elbows. If you come down to the elbows, I want your hands to be parallel to each other and your elbows to be right under your shoulders and your shoulders pushing away from your head and your ears. So make that area strong. Okay, so I'm going to come back up onto my hands. That's your choice. Push up into between the shoulder blades. Good, and push down into the tops of your feet. Now when you do that, your core is going to kick on and get very, very strong. I want you to keep that core contraction, keep pressing up in between the shoulder blades, and this can turn into a full body exercise even though it's really designed for the leg. So press one leg up and out, keep the knee bent, flex your foot, and you're going to kick the ceiling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Get your weight nice and even. Press up. Other leg comes up. Foot flex. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that was a bit of a plyometric for the back of the leg. We just started with 8. You can work yourself up to 10, 12, and then on up to 16 and 32, depending on the strength of the back of your leg and the strength of your core and your arms holding you up. So that's my 4 fit moves for the legs. Let's move now to the upper body. Some very simple things that we can do for the upper body. And we're back in this plank position or modified plank position. So when you start in your plank position, put one hand under each arm and spread your fingers out nice and wide, and then shoulders away from your ears and press up in between the shoulder blades. Then you push down into the tops of your feet and your shin bones, and that gets your back strong, your core strong, and you're nice and solid. We call it a plank because it's like a board, like a plank that you would use to build something. So we want to keep that straight and solid. Now from here, you might need to stay in a box today, depending on your arm strength or upper body strength. You can keep those knees right underneath your hip bones. If you want to make it harder, then you're going to press the knees back a little bit, tuck the tailbone under, and keep all of this nice and flat. And if you're feeling very strong, or if you want to try, then you can come up onto one toe or onto both toes. If you have diastasis, though, do not come up on the both toes. Have at least one knee down to protect that core. Okay, so we're going to just press into elbows coming towards the back of the room and sliding right by your body. So just bend the elbows and come back up. Now starting out with just a couple of these, if you haven't been doing anything for the back of the arm, is plenty. Take your time here, and what you don't want to happen is to collapse into your arm. Okay, the shoulders are down, back, and away from your ears, and the elbows go to the back of the room and touch your rib cage, right next to your body. You don't want them to fly out towards the walls for this one. This is for back of the arm. Tummy muscles pulled in. Give me 2 more. Breathe. Exhale and press up. And 1 more. Breathe. And exhale and press up. So you should have felt that all the way through your shoulder and the back of your arm. Then you take a moment to take the pressure off of the wrist. Again, you can use the handles of handheld weights if that's easy for you, or there is a product called the Perfect Push-Up that is handles that helps keep all of this in alignment. Okay? Now coming back up, back into that box. Now we're going to take the hands underneath the arms, but then take them off the side of the mat. Now this is where we go wide. So the elbows are now pushing out and away. Again, you can come back a little bit if you need a longer lever, but don't fall into the shoulders. Push them down, back, and away from your ears. Tailbone is under, elbows out, and breathe in as you come down towards the mat. Face down, exhale, and come back up. Okay, so by face down, I mean you're not dropping your head. You're coming face down, nose toward the mat, and exhale and push up. So this is chest and back and shoulders and biceps, and we're taking our time, going nice and slow. And exhale up. And give me 1 more like that. This is how you start push-ups, okay? So as you get stronger, you're going to be able to do more repetitions, and you're going to be able to go onto one toes or both toes, okay? So take your time there and do good form first. It's the most important thing, not just cranking out a bunch of reps. When you come back up over your arms and you bring your hands back under your shoulders, this time, turn your fingers towards each other and elbows out. We're going to do a downward facing dog push-up, and then I'm going to show you how to modify it. So a downward facing dog from yoga is head in between the arms, hips way up in the sky, and back as flat as possible. So then you just bend the elbows and press right back up. Let's be honest, that's hard for some people, right? So if you're not ready to come up onto the feet, then you just put the knees down and you bring the head towards the hands and press right back up. I'm going to keep modifying. You can keep modifying or come up onto your feet for a downward facing dog push-up. Use those shoulders and breathe and exhale and breathe and exhale. You got one more in you. Breathe and exhale and come back and give it a rest. So that was 3 different forms of push-ups that you can practice to get your upper body strength going. And now I'm actually going to use the full arm exercise from a seated position. So as you get stronger, the full arm exercise can be done with resistance bands or with weights. So I'm going to show you ones with weights, and then I'm going to take the weights out. All right, here's my handheld weights. They're starting right here in front of me. Squeeze up to the shoulder, turn, press up over my head, then bring them down, in, and down. Let me show you once from the side, because you'll notice that my elbows are in front, shoulders are behind. Squeeze here, then turn, then press, then down, then in, then down, because the hard part is not shifting around with your torso, but keeping all of that solid. So pull your tummy muscles in, get the pelvic floor off the mat, get all of that nice and strong, support your body. And now we're going to practice. I'm taking the weights out. So I'm squeezing my arms without any weights. I am still doing work. You don't have to use weights in the beginning. But a nice, strong arm. You got to squeeze the muscles. Add a little mind body to what you're doing today. Get every muscle to work for you. Biceps. Rotate, press through the shoulders. Elbows down, into the body. Press down. Imagine every muscle in your upper body working hard. When the hands go up over the head, the shoulders need to slide down even more, right? Because we tend to want to shrug when the hands go up over the head. So press them down. Get them away from your ears. Add space there. Press, in, curve, down. One more time. And press, and in, and down. Okay, so that is some basic exercises now for upper body, and we're moving on to core exercises to get this going even stronger. All right, let's get back on those hands and knees that we were working on. And again, you can use a handle here or come down onto your elbows if you need to. Getting the hands underneath the armpits, pressing down into the feet. This is a core exercise. You're working hard already if you're pushing into your feet and pushing into your hands. Okay, if you are ready to add on to that, keep everything just like it is, but lift your knees for 3, 2, 1. Set them down and breathe. So all I'm doing is lifting about an inch. Ready? Exhale and lift. 3, 2, 1. Set them down, breathe. We're doing that 2 more times and lift for 3, 2, 1. Set them down and breathe. And last time, lift for 3, 2, 1. Set them down and sit back. Okay, so hopefully you felt that core kick on just from lifting the knees or even just from pushing into your hands and your feet. Why? This core connects everything. It's so vital and so important. We're going to turn over onto the back, take some pressure off of the hands now. Turn onto your side first, turn over onto your back. Keep one leg down, okay, and depending on your injury, if you have an ankle injury, a leg injury, you might have to do that anyway. Tuck the tailbone under you, shoulders down and back. Lift this knee in and then up. If you can't get it straight today, keep it bent like this. It's still going to work your core, I promise. If you're feeling a little stronger or you're more flexible, you can go up to that straight leg. And we're going to do a bit of a pendulum just with this one leg. So it's going to go towards your body and then out. Breathe in towards your body and then out. And of course, the longer the letter is, the harder this is. Find your tummy muscles and make sure that they're staying in. If you can't keep them in, then bring the knee in closer and make your range of motion smaller. Control is so much more important than just knocking these out. Okay, so with a straight leg, it looks like this, across the body and then out. My shoulders are staying down, and I'm twisting actually from the waist slightly, but everything is in and in control. And this leg that's on the mat is staying down in the mat and staying strong. And out, and bring it back in, and then let's bend the knee in, and let's lay that one down and practice the other side. So if you have a boot on or a compression garment on the other leg, you might just have to adjust for whatever it is. Keep the core on nice and strong. You can extend or keep it bent. Go towards the inline of your body first. Breathe. Exhale, open. And breathe. And exhale, open. Straighten the leg if you can. Or do a partial straight leg if you can. Whatever feels right to you today. And this is staying in and in control. That's where you are. Breathe. Exhale, open. 2 more. Breathe. Exhale, open. And last one. Breathe. And exhale, open. Then bring it in. Bend the knee and give it a nice pull right here. Okay. So now we're going to go into some modified side planks. Turn onto your side and line yourself up. Get your elbow right underneath your shoulder. Press out of the shoulder. Get the ear away from the shoulder. Fist is in front of you and you're making an L with your arm. Okay, any issues here with the arm or whatever, you might need a pillow under the elbow. However you need to adjust is fine. And then we're going to line this knee up with this elbow in a straight line. Okay, so take a look at it and line that up. Then get your head long and away. Then drive this leg out. So this leg for me is not doing anything. It's not holding any weight. It's just nice and long. So depending on where you are today, you might need to put a little bit of pressure on it, and you might even be here, which is okay. So this is modified for extra support to the front. All right, so all we're doing from here is we're taking this hip down and exhaling it back up. So when you lift up, you're squeezing with your side and keeping your body in alignment. Both sides have to work pretty hard to drop that knee down and lift it back up. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then we're going to go to the other side. Okay, so to go to the other side, bring yourself onto both knees and place this arm down, and then open up on the other side. Take a look first. Get the elbow lined up with the knee. Straighten this leg out. Get your head out and long, and then modify it if you need to. And then the hip comes down and up. Body nice and long. Let's do 2 more. Breathe and exhale, and breathe and exhale, and then bring both knees here and both arms here. Tummy still pulled in and very strong. Holding this position may be difficult for you today, so that's a little bit of a challenge for you to hold here for a few seconds, keeping the tummy muscles pulled in, shoulders away from your ears, and the tailbone tucked under. 1 more exercise for the core, and you're done with your beginner workout for today. So coming back onto your back, bring up one leg, other leg is down. This leg is just going to go away and back in. One hand on your tummy to make sure it stays in. Away and back in. So if it's only a few inches, that's fine. Exhale it back up. Exhale it back up. Good. And so your range of motion depends on what you can control. Now your hip might complain. If your hip complains, reduce your range of motion. Keep it very, very small. Okay, but if your hip is not complaining and it just has a natural creak to it, this is actually going to help. So keep working through that for 3, 2, and 1. Then the knee comes in, set it down. Other leg comes up nice and long. And same thing, press it away and back up, Start small, make sure it's in control. And you're like painting a stripe on the ceiling and the wall. For 3, 2, and 1. Now, if you do not have diastasis recti and your core is relatively strong, you can take it to the next level by doing ceiling walks. So one foot comes up, other foot comes up, legs are as straight as they're willing to go today, and you're taking a walk on the ceiling. So breathe through this. If you're on this final exercise, it's a little more challenging. Keep the torso still. Breathe through this for 3, 2, 1, and knees come into the chest. And then roll onto your side and come on up. Very important for everyone at every fitness level to stretch at the end of a workout. Starting with the butterfly stretch, breathe, keep your back flat, and then just lean forward with a flat back. Press your head up and out, open the chest, then breathe and begin to round the spine from the bottom to the top and open the legs. Open the knees out towards the mat. Keep the tummy away from your clothes as you do this. Then breathe and round yourself up. Legs come out straight or as straight as they're willing to go today. Sit up over your sits bones. This might be your stretch for today. If you can go further, keep your back straight and just lean forward. Open up the chest and shoulders. And if the muscles tense up when you do this, just mind body, remind them to relax at stretching time. And then exhale and begin to round the spine from the bottom all the way to the top. Reach the arms out. Ease into the stretch here. Elbows coming down towards the floor. Then breathe, exhale, and come all the way up. Sit in a comfortable position for you, which is here for me. If you're sitting in a chair, you can even let your legs just hang over the side. Roll the shoulders out. Good. Put them behind you. Bring your arms around and to the front. Then press forward. Breathe in and up. Then release it. Grab your hands behind your back and open your chest and shoulders. If you can't grab your own hand, grab the back of your mat or your clothing and just get that opening. The more that we do this, the more our posture improves. Unfortunately, for many of us that sit or have to sit a lot, what happens to our posture, right? So the more we can do this, every 45 minutes, if you're sitting at a desk during the day, remind yourself, open my chest back up, get myself up taller. It will improve your health drastically, not just the way you look. I hope that you enjoyed this beginner workout. Send me an email and let me know what specifically I can do to help you. And I hope that you will join me in my next fitness and nutrition challenge. You can also find out about the fitness and nutrition challenges at carryfit.com.